So in this video, we'll be talking about transitions, animations, and slideshow. In order to start a slideshow on a regular Windows-based PC, you can press F5. Here you can press play to start. And I have added some slides, some transitions already. We'll talk about that. And you can also press this button right here on the bottom right, slideshow. What this does is basically start a slideshow from where it is. And you can do play from the current slide. That's the same one as the bottom one. This button right here. So the transitions that you're seeing whenever I open the slideshow, right? When I do this, these things that you're seeing, that is called transitions. So now transitions are good and bad. So the sounds that you're seeing, the transition that you're seeing, they are kind of ugly. So right now I added no transition, so I'm going to go in here and start as so you see it just started like this. So you really need to understand that what kind of transition you want and if this is a good transition for your audience. Audience matters a lot. If you're doing it for kids and for promotion purposes, sure, but if you're doing it just for fun, for professional purpose, you really need to be careful. Okay, so now I'm going to add this transition right here. I'm going to start the slideshow. You see how a transition happens, it wipes it out. I can add a sound to it. Let's do a better sound. Let's do wind sound. Right? So, I mean, again, you can add a sound. You don't have to add a sound, but remember your viewers. You don't want to add it. If you're presenting to Fortune 500 company or to your employers, you really don't want them to hear these ugly noises or some weird transitions. Okay. Now, the transitions are easy to apply. You just select a slide and add a transition. Let's do this one on this one, or maybe a plane, right? And how do I see it? I go and turn the slideshow on. I go to the next slide, right? So this is very simple to do. So transitions are very easy, very simple, but they could be effective. They could make or break your presentation. Now let's go to this second slide. If you see a star right next to it, that means the transition has applied there. So if I go here, say none, the star goes away. That means there is no transition applied to that slide. Okay, now let's work on animations. So I selected this first slide, and when I had selected my show, right, when I started my show, you see right here, all of these objects appear at the same time. But what if I don't want all of these objects appearing at the same time? What if I want this object first, then this, and then this? Okay. In order for me to do that, I will have to apply animation. Animation. So how do I do this? I go in here, I click on the object. So this is the object that I want first. So I'm going to click on the transition. There are two kind of transitions here. This is the transition of how it appears, and this is the transition of how the object will change. So object will appear, but it will just change the effect of what it is. So maybe a transparency or whatever. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So let's say I click here, this object, so we're going to work on this. So I want this to appear like this, right? Suddenly when I do this in Mac, this animation pan opens up, but in Windows, if it doesn't open up, you'll see it on the bottom, on the top right-hand side in your animation. It will, in your top right-hand side in advanced animation, right here in advanced animation, it will say animation pan. So once you click on animation pan, it will open up this item for you. Now you see this one says number 1, right? That means this is the first one that's going to appear when I press enter. Then I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to bring this one in, and this one is going to say number 2. This one is, I'm going to say, let's do and expand like this. Oh, let's do the fade. Okay. Now, when I start the slideshow, you will see that those objects will not appear. Why? Because I have marked them that I want the yellow object first, then I want the building, then I want the books. And how am I doing that is by clicking. So no object, then I clicked here, then press the arrow key again, and again, and this is how it's appearing. But what if I want to change it? I want books to appear first, this building, and then this yellow pen. Okay, very easy. In my animation pan, I click on the animation pan. Once it appears, these are the slideshow. You can drag them down. Okay, so I want this one to be the last one, and then this second one to be the first one. So the books will be the first one, this one will be second, and this one will be third. How do I know? Is I can see the numbers, right? So very simply, it did it, or you can change it through here. You see, I selected this, and there's an arrow, so I bring it down, and it suddenly changes it to 2. I bring it back up, it's now number 1. Okay. Now when I start the slideshow, nothing appears. The books will appear first, building, and the yellow. Okay, so again, play around with it. This is a very, very interesting tool. It can help you do a lot of things in a good way. So please play around with it. And if you have any questions, please email me. Thanks. Bye-bye.